Hello everyone, welcome to this short video on hypothesis testing for proportion. And here we are going to look at how we can use z-test for proportion. There are a couple of things that we need to know before we solve an example for z-test for proportion. So z-test for proportion is used if the sample is a random sample. That is the first condition. The sample is selected using random sampling method. Second, as we are talking about the proportion, you will have the proportion of the sample p hat, and the opposite for that is 1 minus p hat or q. So there are only two outcomes. Meaning of that is the conditions for binomial experiment are satisfied. And third thing, for the proportion or the sampling proportion to follow the normal distribution, n times p and n times q, where your q is 1 minus p, q is 1 minus p, both must be greater than 10. And if all these conditions are true and we are performing the hypothesis test for the proportion, then the test value, which will be the z-score here, will be equal to p hat minus p divided by the square root of p times 1 minus p, all divided by n inside that is square root. Let's take an example so that everything which is here will be clear. Here is the example. 46% of people believe that there is life on other planets in the universe. A scientist does not agree with this finding. He surveyed 120 randomly selected individuals and found 48 believe that there is life on other planets. At alpha equal to 0.10, or that is 10% significance, is there sufficient evidence to conclude that the percentage differs from 46? So here what we have is 46% of people believe that there is life on other planet. So p is equal to 0.46. That's what the people believe. But a scientist does not believe this. Scientists said that the proportion is not equal to 0.46, or that is the claim. That is scientist claim. Now, the first equation here, p equal to 0.46, contain equal to sign. So that is your null hypothesis. And this one, without the equal to sign, that is the alternative hypothesis. And that is not equal to sign, meaning of that is we are using two-tailed test. Okay, now there are a few things that are given here. In order to test this claim, the sample taken is 120, and what's the scientist found is the proportion, okay, and found that 48 believe there is life on other planet. So the proportion will be 48 out of 120. And if you use that calculator, you'll see that this is equal to 0.4. So the proportion of the people who believe that there is life on other planet is 0.4. That is from the sample. Now, if we want to test the claim, we need to find the z-score. And we know that the z-score is equal to p hat minus p divided by the square root of p times 1 minus p, all divided by n. Okay, that is equal to p hat, we got here 0.4, minus p is 0.46, divided by the square root of p is 0.46 times 1 minus p, 1 minus 0.46, which is equal to 0.54, divided by n is 120, that is the sample size. So if we type all these in our calculator and simplify, make sure you check it, the result will be negative 1.2 0.3188. That is the z-score calculated. Now, this is a two-tailed test, so we are looking at the area on the two tails of the normal distribution as our p-value. Okay, so that's our p-value. And for this, the test result is negative 1.3188 on this side. So this side it will be 1.3188. So we need to find these areas. So in order to find these areas, we need to use our calculator. So in the calculator, we press second and then vars and number 2. Lower limit we can take on this side, which is negative infinity. That's good. Already there. And the upper value is negative 1. Hold on. That is negative E99. So let me do that. E99. It was already there. So this one is negative 1.3188. Negative 1.3188, mean 0, standard deviation 1. Let's paste this and calculate the result, which is 0.0936. Okay, so this is 0.0936 here and 0.0936 here. So if we add those two areas, that is our p-value. So now the p-value is p is equal to 0.0936 plus 0.0936. So if we add these two values, the area on the left tail plus the area on the right tail, that will give our p-value, which is equal to 0.1872. So what we got is the p-value which we obtain here is greater than the significance label. So p is actually greater than alpha. So since p is greater than alpha, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. That means we are accepting the null hypothesis. We are rejecting this one, meaning we are rejecting the claim. That means there is no enough evidence to support the claim at 10% significance label. Okay, so there is not enough evidence to support the claim at 10% significance label. So that is the end of this video. So you can say that there is no enough evidence to support the claim that the p is not equal to 46%. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this helpful.